Hello, everyone. I'm so excited today to welcome Sophie, a money coach for female founders. And we are going to be talking about how to build personal and business finances side by side today, common mistakes, and tips to building a consistent business income. So, hi, Sophie. How are you today?
Hi, I'm good. I'm so happy to be here.
Yay! I'm so excited for you to be here. Now, I'd love for you to share a little bit about you and what you do and, some things that are happening in your world right now.
Sure. Well, I am, as you said, I'm a money coach for online entrepreneurs. And basically, what I do is that I help women with building their personal finances, especially business owners building their savings accounts, learning how to invest, learning how to reinvest properly back into their business in order to for optimal growth as well. So we've got that personal finance side of what I do, and then we also have the business finance of all the back end stuff that goes on in your business. So client retention, upsell, downsells, kind of creating a launch program. So raising your income as well as kind of saving and investing and making sure that those two things, your personal life and your business life, are kind of working together side by side. So basically, my goal is to help entrepreneurs go from kind of that build stage to that growth stage as well. So that's kind of what's going on in my life at the moment, working with one-on-one clients to help them with that.
I love that. And something that I see all the time, and you hear this even with millionaires and like celebrities and athletes. I love the song Mike Posner, I took a pill in Ibiza. And he was just basic like you can make so much money, but you could also not retain or hold any of it or lose it all because of how you budget, because of how you spend your money. And as especially as business owners, a lot of us as female founders, we start off really just figuring it all out on our own.
Yeah.
Like there's no guidebook to entrepreneurship, and it I know for a fact that finances is a huge struggle for many. And not only that, but I feel like it's such a taboo topic sometimes, especially since, the way that we've ingrained like the conversations around money growing up. And, of course, it looks different for everyone. And so I want to ask you, like, for those who are feeling daunted when it comes to even approaching or, really, making sure that their finances are in check within their business, what would your advice be for those who are like, I know I need to, dive into this. I know I need to focus on this, but I am so scared to do it.
Yeah. Well, just know that that is like completely normal. It is just the way in which we have grown up in the conversation, like you said, around money. We don't learn about personal finance in school. We don't learn about how to build a savings. We don't learn at all basically about how to invest. So unless you've had wealthy parents to teach you that, you're really learning it for the very first time on your own. And that can be really daunting when you're trying to kind of run a business as well as your personal finances as well, when you have basically such a minimal knowledge about it and you're learning as you go. So
Mhm.
just acknowledge that it's normal to kind of have some reluctance to look at what's going on. But I would also, my advice would be to tackle the why. Why are you feeling like you don't want to look? Why are you feeling stressed? Why are you feeling anxious? Or what kind of feelings are coming up for you? Because what I think a lot of people don't understand is that money is so emotional, money is so psychological as well.
Mhm.
So we add a lot of emotions and feelings attached to our money, which can kind of scare us away. So I'm all for kind of money neutrality and kind of looking at money from a very neutral point of view. You don't have to be super excited and loving it, but you really shouldn't be hating it or really dreading looking at your finances. I think that's a sign that there's something amiss and something not quite right. Meaning that you may have to level up your financial education. We may have to like invest in our knowledge in that way. But yeah, that's what I would say was just to tackle the why you're feeling that way. But also, it's just so normal, just like you said, from the way that we grow up with money, it's so sheltered.
Yeah. And I would also like to add to that, like for those who are tuning in, like you're here right now listening to this conversation. You are ready to take the reins. Like, if there is any better time. It's literally right now to focus on this area, especially since it's like, the beginning of a new year. It's a lot easier to manage that and a lot easier to like figure everything out. So yeah, I'm really excited to, dive into everything. Now, when it comes to business finances and personal finances, I know that I've definitely made this mistake when I first started out within business, is not compartmentalizing or separating the two, right? And I'd love to kind of hear your thoughts on, your thoughts on keeping them all together versus a lot of separation. Yeah.
Yeah. So this was something that I did as well when I first started because you just don't really know any better,
Yeah.
right? So I'm a big believer of keeping those two things separate because it's just easier to see what is coming in and what's going out, especially when it comes to like tax times. Because remember, we have to do our own taxes and we have to do our own like financial stuff as well. It's
Mhm.
easier to have everything in one place and to separate your personal financial goals and to separate your business goals. Because even though your business may be your main source of income right now, so your business kind of dictates whether you can achieve your personal financial goals. So, for example, if you want to go on a holiday soon, like want to tour Europe or something, um, it's important to keep that into a separate personal finance savings account rather than it's kind of mixed all together with your business account as well, because it kind of makes it really hard to see what you're earning. It makes it really hard to see if you're close to your goals. It kind of feels like you're living month to month and you're not really planning ahead. So this is why I also, Ray, I think that you should keep it separate. That's my
Okay.
advice.
Okay, I love that. Now, within like each of the separate accounts, of course, there's your business bank account and your personal bank account. Do you recommend like different types of accounts within those accounts? Sometimes I don't know, with your banking or banking all around the world, but for my banking, specifically in Canada, we are allowed to like change the nicknames of it. So you can like look on your phone and you could change the name. So one could be for taxes, one could be for investments and things like that. And so, do you recommend like compartmentalizing into different branches from the business account and also personal? I guess we'll start with business first.
Definitely. Like this is what I do as well because I have this bank where you can kind of add accounts like under your main account. So
Hmm.
yeah, add little buckets, I would call them, kind of
Yeah.
little money buckets. And so for each financial goal that I have, I would open up an account within the account, so a bucket. So there would be like my taxes would go under my business one. So reinvesting back into my business. So I think I have like a courses, when you're always investing into courses and things like that. So I
Mhm.
had one for that. And I had one account that was just like for business expenses. So everything just comes out of this account. So making sure that everything is super, super organized on both ends, it actually clears up so much mental space in your head when your finances are kind of decluttered and you know that what's going on for each account. So the personal finances can be your emergency funds, maybe some investments in that one. Maybe you can have like a treat yourself fund, funds that you use for like going out with your friends, something that isn't business related and like traveling and things like that. I would definitely keep both of those separate. And then, like you said, compartmentalize them as well. I think that it sounds complicated when we're saying it because you're opening up multiple accounts. But actually, once you automate it, and this is another tip that I have, is to not do things manually, to make sure that everything is automated in the background every month so that you don't really need to do all of this manually. You just need to set it up once and then it goes off in the background every single month. And this is the best way to manage your personal and business finances.
Yes, I love that so much. Something that I love to watch just like on my downtime are like cash stuffing videos where they have like the different envelopes and they count the cash and they're like, this one's for my nails, this is, for, leisure and everything like that. And I feel like this is a digitalized version of that. And it's a lot more manageable instead of, especially since right now, like again, cash is king and we love cash, but also in this day and age, a lot of places accept credit cards or debit card and things like that. And especially when you're running a business, most of your expenses are probably online through different like softwares. You're probably working with a coach across the world, or your clients you're working with are all over the world. And so I highly recommend utilizing this form of, like you saying, pour it into different buckets. Now, as entrepreneurs, I'm sure this is a question that comes up a lot. And as entrepreneurs, our income is not exactly the same every single month, right? So
Mhm.
that makes it difficult to
Yeah.
budget exactly how much money goes under each bracket. And so, do you work percentage wise or ratio wise? Like, what is like a manageable, realistic way to do this, especially as female founders who have fluctuating income coming in?
Yeah, that's a really good question. And I would definitely do it in percentages and have kind of like, because if you don't know what you're earning each month, you want to have your non-negotiable. So there's your necessity things that have to happen. And then you can have a couple of non-negotiables no matter what is happening. I need to have money in my emergency fund to feel safe and secure. Maybe that is your one non-negotiable. This is, I'm 100% putting this much percentage in that every month. So
Mhm.
yeah, I would definitely do it in percentages as well to make sure that the consistency is there, because I think when your income is so inconsistent, that can affect your personal finances. So the percentages definitely help it be consistent and create this habit of putting money aside and growing your savings as well. Um, so yeah, that's a really good question, because I think a lot of the times entrepreneurs feel like they can't build their emergency fund, or they feel like they can't start investing, and I'll start when I have more of a consistent income, or I'll start when, and they kind of keep pushing it back, pushing it back.
Yeah.
But it as an entrepreneur, this could all go away tomorrow,
Hmm.
maybe because we're on Instagram, we're on TikTok, these could shut down tomorrow and things like that. So that's why it's really important that we always have our backup, and that we're always working towards our personal finances. That's why I'm such a big believer of investments as well. When you invest uh, back into your business as well with courses and leveling up your knowledge, but also investing in stocks in the stock market, in crypto exchanges and things like that. I see that as kind of like a backup as you're saving your business as well. So there, your money is growing in other ways than just your business.
Hmm.
So,
Really
yeah.
building like wealth for yourself, for your future generations. I love that. Now, when it comes to investing into like stocks or like different cryptocurrencies and things like that, it gets really advanced and very daunting to some. And so, would you recommend creating like two different accounts for this, like separation from business and personal again, or would you just stick with personal for this circumstance for stocks and investments and such?
Well, it really depends on you. This is the best thing about finances, because it's personal finance, it's all personal. I don't think that there is one right or wrong way to do it. So
Yeah.
if you feel like it makes sense in my brain to have two, then have two. I personally just have one, and then that's kind of like my personal financial goal is to build my investment account. Like no matter what's happening, I really want to build that account, because this is also my retirement fund as well.
Hmm.
So that's something that is a really high priority for me. But this is the great thing about personal finance. I think we've all been kind of, we feel like we're doing things wrong, and we feel like we should be doing these things, or we should be, what should I prioritize first? There's so much going on.
Yeah.
Um, and just actively, even listening to this podcast, actively learning about money, you're in the right place, you're doing the right thing, and that there is no right or wrong way to learn about investing. There's no right or wrong way to do your own personal finance. And that's what I really love, is working with clients to find out what is their own personal way of their finance, because
Yeah.
it's not just one way. Because I guess we kind of see with investing education, it's only really ever directed towards men. It's kind of
Hmm.
white old men. That's what we
Yes.
see in this space. So um, I think it's hard to also find something that relates to you as like a female founder, you know.
Yes.
How much should I invest?
Hmm.
Yeah,
That's why I was so excited for our conversation today because, even like when I was starting off in business, or like even today now, if I want to expand my financial education and literature, there's literally a very small fraction in the online space when you go and look for it, and even a smaller percentage when it comes to books. And I think like this is an amazing resource for those who are tuning in and female founders to really leverage this. And so I think like the best piece of advice from my point of view when it comes to finances in business is, one, as long as you start shifting from blindly spending, not tracking or anything, or like really just don't know what's coming in or out of your business, I think that is the slippery slope, right?
yeah,
But when you start implementing some sort of system, some sort of structure, like we kind of talked about, pouring
yeah,
things into buckets, that is going to give you a head start no matter what, right? So if things are feeling really daunting right now, of what you need to be doing, all the things that you should be doing, I think start there when you say
yeah.
the same. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Um,
I would definitely just have a look at what you're spending,
mhm.
um, and definitely just have a look at how you feel with your finances is such a big indicator to what the state of them are as well. How you feel when you're
Yes.
looking at them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, you work with a lot of female founders and, working with them to really elevate their finances and business, personal. I'd love to hear your thoughts, the most common mistakes that you typically see when it comes to managing finances or even like generating money into their business.
hmm Well, I think one of the main ones is we kind of briefly talked about impulse spending.
Mm,
Um, and I would say for female founders, a lot of the time it's impulse spending on yourself, as in investing in yourself, like impulse spending on courses and things like
mm,
that. So as entrepreneurs, we're always in this constant state of we need to better ourselves, we need to improve ourselves. You know, the things in the online space are constantly changing. So we feel like we need to always be on top of that. Otherwise, we're going to fall behind everybody else. And everybody is selling something, you know, so it's you're kind of bombarded with so many people selling so many different things and you're not really sure what you should want. And for an online entrepreneur who is ambitious and wants to improve themselves,
yeah.
it can be difficult to know what is best for you and what to spend on. So a lot of the times women come to me and they say they are spending, they buy like a course or something and then it kind of collects dust in their Google Drive and
Yeah.
they don't really use it. Maybe they already knew the stuff that was in there, but now the payment plans are giving them anxiety and they just keep spending and keep spending. So that's one thing, is impulse spending on the wrong thing. Um, and I would also say your money mindset around your business, it has to change from what is spending money and what is investing money. You know, there's a big difference between that.
Mm,
Also, kind of your money mindset really affects how you can make sales in your business. Your money mindset affects um, if you're able to achieve your business goals, if you're able to achieve your financial goals as well. So I think a lot of people kind of go straight to the financial strategy and kind of skip over the mindset and the money psychology, which is all really, really important when it comes to the strategy. So
mm.
yeah, impulse spending and money mindset, like kind of ignoring those two things are the biggest factors, because anybody can do a strategy. And once you kind of have solved what is the actual main issue behind the impulse spending, what is the main issue, the core problem behind your money mindset, what is causing all these problems, then the strategy is easy. But I think because people skip straight to the financial strategy, like let's stick to getting more money in, this is kind of where it trips up some people.
Yes, I love that. And I think like for those who are tuning in, one of the things you have to remember right now is like get the fact or what you're telling yourself, I'm not good with money, out of your head like right now,
Mhm.
right? And I'm not good with money. I'm not good at handling money. I am just I'm just an impulse spender. That's just the way I am. I feel
Yeah,
like
yeah,
get that out of your head because the more you tell yourself that, the more like you're putting yourself in this box and you're gonna continue to stay there when you want out. And so, start telling yourself, I'm listening to this podcast episode right now. I'm gonna start taking this seriously. I know exactly what I need to do and to start there. So, just curious from your point of view when it comes to taking this seriously of, first of all, I like to just break it down to like money in, management, and then money out, right? That just kind of makes sense in my brain. So money in
mhm.
is like the money that you're generating within your business, right? What is your piece of advice for money coming in, other than, of course, money mindset and things like that? You said that you work with your clients on like creating offers that you're pricing for profit, of course. I'd love to kind of hear your thoughts on how people can start leveraging that side of their business. So not only controlling the money that they have in and the money that's going out, but also like what is the actual money that's coming in into their business right now.
Yeah, totally. So when you're a service-based business owner, and you're working with clients, um, part of the thing that I work on with them is one, client retention. So I think a lot of the times we don't realize that we need offers to support our clients at every stage of their life. So they could there's client retention, and it kind of goes into the other thing of doing like a product suite review as well. Having multiple touch points throughout the client's journey is really important for client retention, which will then raise your profitability because it will raise trust with your clients that they keep coming back for more and they know that you're the person that can solve their problem. And it's great for you because then you can really help them through every single stage of the journey that you're trying to take them through. So
Mhm.
the money coming in, part of the things that I help them with is looking at their product suite, seeing where your clients need you and where we can create something new to help them along their journey. And then we have our client that's part of the client retention. Also things like upsell, downsell, back end strategies as well. This is something that I think is difficult to learn on your own and something that as online entrepreneurs, it seems a little bit complex to set up what should be an upsell and what should be a downsell when they're at the checkout, right? What is something that is going to make them think, oh my God, I need this, right? So this is also part of the way that you can help more money come in to increase your profitability while also really, really helping your clients and making them feel so supported as well throughout their journey. Yeah.
Yes, I love that. Your next client is your current client. I love saying that because, yeah, client retention and client referrals, like those
Yes.
are incredible streams of sustainability for income in your business. And yeah, the two R's are, we love it. Now, when it comes to working with your clients, upselling, downselling, like that is so important, like to diversify the income that's coming into your business. We see in the online space all the time, left and right, I'm sure like on your For You page or your Explore page on Instagram, it's like you need at least 6 to 8 different streams of income to be like six figures or a millionaire, all of these different topics. But I feel the same way about business finances of the money that's coming in, right? Not only having like one specific retainer or one specific offer that you serve your clients in. Again, the more that you diversify, the easier it is going to help you leverage your time and the money that's coming in, whether that's passive offers, retainer base. Again, that's like the most secure because it's predictable.
Yeah.
But as long as your marketing is serving the job that it's serving, you can without a doubt leverage like passive income and upsells and downsells. And so I think part of upselling, downselling, when an like ideal client comes to you and curious about how they can work with you, the key thing is to hold like integrity and like to be really honest about what they're needing, why they're needing that, and how you're able to support them in that. Because if you don't, they're again different levels of expectation during the support, which doesn't lead to the best client experience, which doesn't mean to client retention or client referrals. And so,
Yeah.
when you know in your heart, you're like, this ideal client or potential client wants to opt into this specific offer, but I don't think that's the right fit for them. I'm going to either downsell them or upsell them. And that I think that is going to create a much greater transformation, much greater type of support when working with them. And I think that that is the best way to go. So, I've been loving our conversation about finances and managing money and things like that. I'd love to kind of hear your any like last tips or tricks when it comes to managing money, generating money, and money mindset or anything like that as well.
Okay, last tips. Well, I think that you really need to focus on yourself. I think it's really hard when you're looking on Instagram and you're seeing, oh, I made six figures and I'm a millionaire and blah, blah, blah. And you can feel like you're behind. And every single client I talk to says, I feel behind. All my friends have this, this, this. They have
Mhm.
like a house. They are traveling all the time. And I'm just here and I don't have what I thought I would have by now.
Yeah.
So really focusing on yourself, on your own personal finances, on your own business, bringing in kind of the energy that you are doing what you love. There is a place for you in this financial space. And that when you kind of create a personalized strategy for your finances and really, really make money a priority, things change crazy, crazy fast. Like the clients that I work with, when they come to me, things get moving after like literally 3 weeks. So it's like a 3 month program. And by the third week, they're already feeling so much better. And this is when they tell me, oh my God, it feels like a weight is off my shoulders. They're attracting more money. They're feeling better. So my biggest advice would be to not push off your personal finance. Tackle it
Mhm.
now. Money is a lifelong relationship. So fix it now and make it a good relationship now. Honor this relationship now, and your finances and your whole life, you'll see it'll get better instantly.
Yes, I love that so much. And when I think like when it comes to business, and maybe this is just the business mentor side of me, but when you see a bottleneck in your business and you're not tackling it and you're letting like the days go by, of course, there's so many things, extraneous factors that go into it, like mindset and things like that.
Yeah.
But if you're not tackling it, you are setting yourself up for failure every single day and you're setting yourself up for disappointment. And so when you are seeing right now that there's a bottleneck when it comes to your finances, definitely tackle it, because this isn't the current stage of your business right now. When your ship gets bigger, your load gets bigger, your team gets bigger, that problem is still going to be there. And so the only difference is you want to make sure that you're holding in all of that money that you're making and being able to serve your team, serve your clients, serve your business and yourself to make so much more happen from it because of, mastering this one specific skill that you have curated for yourself and it's custom to you, I would say as well, and how you like to, organize things. But I just loved our conversation today. I feel like we've broken down so many like walls and obstacles around money. And yeah, I think also one last note is to remind yourself that in the online space, there's so many different walks of life, right? There's so many different circumstances of where people started off. Someone could have made already like multiple six figures in their corporate job and been able to already leverage finances and like investments and savings and things like that. And you could be a university dropout with like $200 in your savings account. Like, stop
Yeah,
comparing yourself to others because you don't know what's going on behind the scenes.
exactly. Yeah.
And it's important to remember that. So I love that. I'd love for you to share with those who are tuning in, where they can find you. Of course, I'll share in the show notes, but where they can find you, and how they can work with you, what's going on in your world right now, where they can really immerse themselves in.
Great. Well, you can find me on Instagram at financial.feminist. And this is where I would talk about my one-on-one coaching program. So this is where I help women, like I said at the beginning, build their savings and build a budget and really fix that financial back end of their business so that they can know, okay, I'm booking a flight to Greece for the holidays and I know 100% how much money I'm going to make for that to happen, financial projection and all that. So follow me on Instagram and we can connect and talk a bit more about money as well. So thank you so much for having me as well. I really, really enjoyed this conversation.
Yay, amazing. Thank you.
Thank you.